a lead flashing on an abutment, and also how to point it in nice and neat as well. Tools you're going to need to install a lead flashing. What's happening, guys? Paul Jamie Construction. We're back again with another video. This video I'm going to show you how to replace a damaged lead flashing on an abutment. This lead flashing is over the top of a flat roof, a felt roof. The felt roof is okay, but the lead had failed and was causing a severe leak. And I'll show you how to knock up the new lead and install it nice and solid, and also how to point it in nice and neat as well. So I've taken the old lead flashing out and I've scraped off all the flash band. So you can see the old lead wedges there. I'm just going to use a bolster, hammer and bolster, and I'll just remove them as well, just so it's nice and clear for me. Get a little broom or a little blower and blow all the dust out as well. I've set myself a little bench up just so I ain't got to keep going up and down, because I'm going to get 4 pieces out of a 6 metre roll of lead. So 1.5 metres is the maximum you can go. So obviously 4 times 1.5, or 6 divided by 1.5 is 4 pieces of lead, and I've got 2 rolls, so I don't really want to be going up and down the ladder 6 to 8 times. So I set myself a little bench up. I'll bring the 2 rolls of lead up here, pouch of tools, and then we get cracking. Oh, just a quickie. It's a bit of a poxy day as well, so I apologise if the old lens gets a bit rainy. I'll try and keep washing it down as we go, but bear with me. Right guys, I've got my little bench set up. I've got a roll of lead up here. Tools you're going to need to install a lead flashing. Tape measure for your measurements, maximum 1.5. Square, just for putting on the lead, keeping it nice and square. Standing knife for cutting it, or you can use tin snips. Lead dresser for dressing the lead into where we want it to, making it look nice and neat. And we've got a bolster and a hammer for banging in our wedges. If you was doing a new installation of lead, there's a couple of ways to grind the chase out. You can use a 9-inch grinder, put 2 slits in it, and then bolster it out, because you need to take the whole chase out, because it'll become loose and it'll end up failing. So you need to take that whole joint out by about 20 mil, 20-25 mil, and obviously 10 mil, which is the thickness, the height of the joint itself. You can use a little mini grinder. They do a thick blade. You can put 2 blades, 2 diamond disc blades on it as well. That works really well. Obviously I decided to take my time, well, take the longer route, but save time in the long run, scraping the flash band off, which meant I could go in the original chase. This board is 1.5 metres, which is the size that I need. If you had a longer board, just to keep getting your tape out, you can just mark it on the board 1.5, unless you roll it out, mark it and cut it off. A little bit of tape just holding it together. Roll it out. You want to try and do all your dressing on your bench, so you keep it as neat as you can on your bench, and then when you come to install it, it'll go in a lot easier, and you haven't got to do as much dressing. What that means is tapping in position, which could potentially dent it. So I just marked 1.5, use my square on my mark. Stanley, be careful with your fingers. 1, 2, 3. Be mindful of that roll of lead on the end. Once you've cut it, it has a tendency to roll off, and I've seen that done loads of times with labourers and apprentices over the years. Light taps with lead, always. And obviously you want to keep the dresser flat as you can. When I was taught how to do lead work many years ago, it was in inches. So it was always a 3/4 inch welt, which is about 20 millimeters. Or like your first knuckle in your finger. $20mm, you put your finger on it, run that down the lead, and then overhang the lead so it's on that 20mm line. Light taps. You've got to put pressure on the lead this way down, because as you tap that way it wants to bend it up, so you have to compensate it. So get one end tapped down, then do the other end. And then make sure that end's pushed in tight. And that's that. So you want to, when you handle these, they're quite rigid because you've got that, but if you put it on your shoulder it can fold over and buckle it all up. So I always carry it this way with one hand. If you're passing it up and down the ladders, or two hands, you hold it like that to spread the weight. Now we do need to oil this lead to stop it oxidizing, turning white, but I'll show you that later on. I'm not going to put it on now. Typically I would do both sides on the bench, but because I'm using mastic lead sheet sealant, I want that to bond to the lead properly, and then I will oil it after, because it reacts with the sheet sealant and it won't stick to it nicely. So right guys, there's a couple of ways that we can hold this lead in place. Traditionally the way I'm going to do it is with just offcuts of lead. You just fold it, bang it flat and use that as a plug, like a wedge. You bang it in with your hammer and your bolster nice and tight, make sure it's not sitting proud, and then that is absolutely solid. They also sell these clips now. Most roofing merchants sell them, little clips, and they're like a V shape. You just put it on your bolster, and just whack that in, and then that spread, that sort of, it's under tension and that holds it in place as well. So there's a couple of different methods. So I'm going to cut some lead off now, and I'll show you how to do these plugs. Here's one I made earlier. That's one that's just come out. So look, all you've got, it's just a strip of lead, 25mm thick, and it's been folded over 3 times, and then we'll just bang that in. Little tap with your dresser. Don't go too mad. I like to get a hold on them in the middle first before I start dressing anything else, and that will just hold it. Then get your bolster. Lead's all in, plugs are all in, lead plugs nice and tight. It's all dressed in nice and tight to the wall. Good little tip with the hammer and bolster. When you dress that lead that way to get it nice in that chase, that welt hits the back and it flares up, flicks up, so it closes that joint there. So in order to open it up, you put your bolster on that way, give it a tap with your hammer, or put it in that way and then tap it down there, and then it will bring it off slightly and just open that joint out, because if it's too thin it won't do nothing. So that's what I'm using. Premium flash point lead zinc copper stainless. That's happy days. That's what that is. They do it in, this is grey, they do it in like a beigey sandy colour as well, which is quite nice. guys, that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching. For more videos, please hit the subscribe button. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.